You're listening to the Fun Never Ends podcast with Metalhead Nelson.
And Brutal Brett. Hey, welcome to the Fun Never Ends podcast. I'm Metalhead Nelson, and with me is my co-host, Brutal Brett. How you doing? It is Wednesday night, midweek, and right before Valentine's Day. And so for you Valentiners, and of course the Super Bowl's this Sunday as well. So it's the LA Rams and the Bengals. Actually, here, the Rams are hosting the freaking game at home at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. That's that brand new stadium in Inglewood. So how you doing, Brett?
I'm doing pretty well. Not stoked for the game. That halftime show, though, that's gonna be something else.
If I'm not wrong, it's Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dre, and somebody else.
Kendrick Lamar.
There you go.
And there's someone else as well. Let's see.
There was another
I know
one.
it, and I'm gonna feel bad for getting them. Let's see. Super Bowl halftime.
Super Bowl halftime. Speaking of which, Eminem is actually a nominee for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for this year. So he's in it along with A Tribe Called Quest, Pat Benatar, Judas Priest is in it again. There's a couple other ones that are in it this year.
I don't know how Eminem is in it. I mean, not going to complain, but
I don't know how he's in it either. But he's a nominee, so they haven't. They're waiting for all the people that vote on it to actually get him up there.
I found out who the person I was forgetting was.
Who
and
was
it's
the person?
someone who I did not. Mary J. Blige.
Oh, yeah, Mary J. Blige. I haven't heard her stuff in so long.
Since mid-2000s.
Right.
So it's just going to be throwback after throwback. Kendrick Lamar is supposed to be playing new songs from his new album.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Kendrick Lamar. I've heard of him, but, you know.
He's what I call rapper smart people. Because he actually uses big words and is someone who takes illusions really seriously. His album To Pimp a Butterfly, he got a Pulitzer Prize for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that I don't know how to describe that because it was just like, well, shit, what am I doing with my writing degree when I could just be fucking rapping this whole time?
It kind of reminds me of how Will Smith, he graduated. He went to, where did he go? I forget where, but he's top notch and he does the same thing, rap and act.
Yeah, but he has style of his own.
Oh,
Big Willie style.
Big Willie style.
Nah, getting jiggy with it.
Yeah, I don't think parents understand.
Nah, but maybe one day we'll get a metal Super Bowl.
It would be cool to get a metal Super Bowl. So at least, well, I mean, I think the top band to actually have, if you're going commercial, well, I'd say it's Metallica.
I agree with that.
So
just have them open with For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Exactly. And then, of course, Enter Sandman. Everybody knows that. Little Master of Puppets. Maybe a little Creeping Death.
Well, if it's anything, they just do Blackened. That's it. Blackened is the end.
And they end the halftime show with Fade to Black.
And then they just were the darkness and President Bay. All that I see.
Absolute horror.
I cannot live. I cannot die. It just reminds me, whenever I hear that part, in my head, I just see Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, shut up, Beavis.
I'm pretty sure.
I need TV for my bunghole.
I'm pretty sure that Beavis and Butthead is responsible. That and have you seen the show Clone High from MTV as well?
I have not.
You've not seen Clone?
No, I haven't seen it.
Have you heard of it?
Clone High? I have to look into that because I've never heard of it. If it was somewhere in the reality show side of MTV.
It was a cartoon.
Oh, okay. The only cartoons I really know from that were MTV was, of course, Beavis and Butthead and Daria.
It's in the same realm of that, but it's awfully forgotten.
I probably never watched it.
Do you want to? Okay, so it was pretty much like clones of JFK, Abraham Lincoln, Gandhi going to high school.
Huh. Okay, that's something that I would check out for sure.
And the playlist for it, mid-2000s, well, I guess like late 90s, early 2000s emo.
Yeah.
On MTV.
That's interesting. Okay.
So it was like Texas is the Reason, The Promise Ring, The Get Up Kids, Saves the Day. On MTV before TRL. So before like any of that broke, really.
Okay. Yeah, I remember watching a lot of TRL, the 3 o'clock. It's like call in and vote for your favorite video.
crazy to think that
with
now
Carson Daly, no less.
But I listened to this other podcast called Yeah But Still. They've had 2 MTV VJs on it within the past like month.
Who did they have on there?
The guy who came second place in like the VJ contest, and then someone else.
Huh, interesting. Well, I have to look that up. The older VJs, right?
Yeah, because it was before TRL even, when it was just starting to come to be, and it had me realize just how crazy that era really was, and how now kids just have TikTok. They don't understand what it was like to have a TRL.
Pretty much. The TikTok is the latest version of Vine. You remember Vine?
Vine has a place in my heart because it lives rent-free in my head along with like 20,000 slogans.
I don't remember who I was listening to that says what their favorite thing to watch was, but somebody had said they just go on YouTube and watch Vine videos all day. I forget who I saw that said that, oh, I just jump on watching Vines all day. Because
it was so short. Now it's like TikTok could be a minute and a half, and you're just like, this, I don't care. But I do care. I will willingly admit before I jumped on this with you.
You were on your TikTok.
I have a TikTok. I do not post on it. I have it just because I'm like, all right, this is addicting and I like watching stuff.
Yeah. I had a TikTok. I had it for a bit, and then I didn't really use it, to be honest. It was my fiance wanted to send me stuff and it made it easy, and only 2 videos I ever posted on there were me playing guitar, like guitar solos. That was it. Me in my room doing the whole guitar solo thing, and then just cut it off from there.
I do have a question though. What does your fiance think of you being into metal? Is she into metal?
Yeah, she is. She's into everything, but she's also into metal because her brother's also a guitar player and also big into metal. So we went to Knotfest. What was it? It was 2019 over at Glen Helen Pavilion. It was Slipknot, Volbeat. Who else was it? Fuck.
Was that your 18 Visions played? Let's see. I'm gonna look this up.
Behemoth played that same night. There was one other band. Oh, Gojira. It was Slipknot. Well, not in that order, but Behemoth. Shit.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was the
Behemoth, Gojira. Yeah, that one. Behemoth, Gojira, Volbeat, and then Slipknot. And I had seen Gojira once before that. I had seen them at what was in the Club Nokia. Now it's what was it? I forget, Microsoft something. Or the club, the Novo or something.
Yeah, it keeps changing names.
Yeah,
this is the one that
Novo. I saw them there with 36 Crazy Fists and In Flames.
I love In Flames.
Yeah, that was the first time I had heard of any of those bands. I went to go see them and they kicked ass, although at that time Gojira put me to sleep. We were in the balcony and I fell asleep during their set.
And then they're a band that I think you kind of just vibe to live. Yeah. I mean, not live, you just vibe to on record, but when you see them live, it's just, it's just like, all right, these are cool, weird sounds. I like that, I guess.
And, put it this way. I was not drinking at Knotfest. I had a few beers that night when I saw them with In Flames. So it was the alcohol that got to me. And then I was kind of pissed off at management over there at the Novo.
Yeah, they have a weird barrier in any way.
Well, I go to get a beer. I give them my ID. They think it's fake, and they have to run it through the machine. And it's, this isn't working. They call over one of the management guys, and they fix it, and it checks out. He's like, you take care of them the rest of the night.
I don't mean any offense to you, but how the fuck do they think that that's a fake ID? I mean this with no offense. You definitely look over 21.
This was, at the Novo, this was, mind you, 2000, I want to say 2009, 2010. I just barely, I was barely, I was 21, 22 around there, and, maybe a little bit more than that. It's probably 24, but
I'm
34 now, so it's probably like, what?
2009 being that far away, that's...
Yeah, I'm 34 now, so,
But that venue just sucks. I was looking at the lineup for the first Knotfest that I went to. I think it was the first one. It was Slipknot, Danzig, Five Finger Death Punch, who I didn't see, Volbeat, Killswitch Engage, Anthrax, Of Mice and Men I didn't care about, Black Label Society, randomly Tech 9 were on it, because I guess every metal fest needs
some hip-hop.
Yeah, I guess that somehow makes sense. Testament
was
in this moment.
Was Lacuna Coil at all on that list?
You know what? No.
Okay,
hell yeah, is because they're always on all of these fests.
Of course, because the late great Vinnie Paul was big time friends with. I'm sure he was big time friends with.
Hatebreed was on it. Devil Driver.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure at some point it's just like, all right, if you go to a giant rock fest, 5 of these bands are going to be on it.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Butcher Babies are always on something.
Yeah.
But in this case, I was just like, all right, I'm going to see the Black Dahlia Murder, Faceless, Carcass, Suicide Silence, Danzig, Killswitch Engage, and Slipknot. That's all that I needed.
Glenn Danzig, that guy's like built like a motherfucker. He's just ripped. The only
As he would.
Go ahead.
I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch.
That guy's ripped. He reminds me of how George Lynch was back in the day. He was fucking ripped. George Lynch is still ripped too.
I think we need a podcast challenge.
Of
just both of us getting ripped.
Get ripped.
You have your wedding coming up. Let's do it. Let's just this is a bodybuilding podcast.
Yeah, I need to work on my whole body. So yeah, I got to work on that. So since I brought up George Lynch, he unveiled a new lineup for his new project. So over the years after he left or Dawkins or whatnot, he went off to form Lynch Mob. Anybody that knows Lynch Mob went through a lot of personnel changes. Oni Logan, Robert Mason, who's now also the frontman for Warrant, Jimmy Deanna on drums, Sean McNabb on bass. It goes on. Now he finally announced his quote unquote perfect band at the Vegas show at Vamp Las Vegas. So the band is called George Lynch and the Electric Freedom, and the lineup includes my buddy Andrew Freeman, who is currently the singer in Last in Line. He was also a member of The Offspring. Jimmy Deanda on drums, and Rob DeLuca from UFO, Sebastian Bach and Eagle Spread on bass guitar. So
that's a pretty star-studded lineup.
Yeah, you'll hear pretty much Dawkins and Lynch Mob tunes and whatever else they decide to do in that on that whole show. So they got a bunch of shows coming up. The closest one to you actually is May 13th at the Canyon in Santa Clarita.
They're playing in Santa Clarita?
The Canyon Club.
Oh, that's in
that's at
Agoura Hills.
Yeah. No, there's a Canyon Club in Santa Clarita at the Santa Clarita Mall.
Other one?
Like out here, there's the Canyon in Agoura. There's a Canyon in Montclair at the mall. So the sister mall of that one is in Santa Clarita.
This shows how much I leave my house.
So
now all the listeners are going to be like, this dude doesn't leave it. Well, now I just doxed myself. Shit.
We'll cut that out.
We'll clean it in post.
Cut it out.
Sometimes you just dox yourself on your podcast.
Cut.
Yeah, so my address is
Don't worry, I'll cut that out. I'll trim it. We'll cut it to here.
Can you instead just like do one of those like comical bleeps or sound effects over it?
I don't know how to do that. I think I can.
Just add another line in Audacity and just make it like the goofiest sound. That's just what I hear in my head on a daily basis.
Speaking of shows, actually, well, venue-wise, the Slide Bar in Fullerton is gone. It's permanently closed. I had a friend that went over there and he posted about it, and it is permanently closed. So the last show I saw at the Slide Bar will be forever my last show. It was Scorpions tribute band by the name of Big City Nights. So that was my last hurrah in the 2019.
I guess you can say they really rocked it like a hurricane.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, they knocked it the fuck out of there. Of course, I think the whole pandemic just knocked that place on their ass. Shows and booze, that's where they made their money. And, of course, the food, if you were there for the food.
I've noticed there's just been a lot of people who, depending on who the owner is, if you're just some kind of random-ass owner who's just like, yeah, I just can't make money off of booze anymore, they pulled out. But if it's like DIY venues, like Chain Reaction had the same thing happen, where they almost had to close down. But
that's right, I remember seeing about that.
Raised crazy money.
The Chain Reaction is small. One time I went into it, you walk in, you turn the corner, there's the stage. I've been there twice. I lied, twice.
I hate it there. It's quote-unquote iconic. Hate it.
I don't like it either, honestly.
It's the worst layout for a venue.
I wouldn't even call it a venue. It's more like just a bar.
It's like a stage with I can't even describe the layout because it's just like there's a stage area and then it's divided by like a barrier type thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Have I seen really crazy shows and iconic shows there? Yes. but I hate it. The energy there is insane. It's just a matter of the venue being pretty terrible.
You know what venue that I was surprised upgraded from the time I went there was the Glass House in Pomona.
Oh, yeah.
Over time, I feel like they renovated that place. Because I had seen maybe like a couple hardcore shows there, and then halfway through, I didn't go there. I went to go see, what did I go see? The Darkness. I saw The Darkness there, and they packed the shit out of that house, that venue. And then I went to go see the Dead Daisies there. They kicked ass over there. Also, I went to, who the f did I go see? There was one more show that I went to go see there, and I can't get it through my head.
What's that show?
It was a show with damn it. I'm going to try to remember. It was a death metal band. Technical death metal band. They are a 3-piece band. The name is not coming to me right now.
Autopsy?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't them. Oh, fuck. Let me see.
One of the few I could think. Let's see. Trying to think of a trio death metal band.
I'm trying to figure that out. Oh my god.
Dying
Fetus. It was Dying Fetus.
I was gonna say, are they still a 3-piece? Because I know that they play as a 4-piece as well.
When I saw them, this was May. It was like May 12th or 13th. Back in
amazing band
2014 or 15. I don't remember, but it was a killer show. It was a fucking big ass lineup for that night.
Was it with Hatebreed and Lamb of God?
No, Lamb of God did not play that night at the.
Because there was a tour
house
around that time. Maybe it was 2012, but it was Hatebreed, Dying Fetus, Lamb of God, and I think Cannibal Corpse, which was that just sounds really irresponsible to be a tour.
Let me see. I'll tell you right now.
Just, the amount of idiot moshing and also racist people in the same room for that tour, because somehow racists love Hatebreed.
Is that right?
It's because Hatebreed gets that random crossover of military people, and then there's also the crossover of like just fucking random ass actual skinheads who are just like, oh yeah, Call for Blood. That's a song about things we believe. So when you go to see Hatebreed, it's just like a bunch of white power idiot fucktards, a bunch of just regular people like you and me who are into metal, hardcore kids from back in the day. It's if you see Hatebreed nowadays, it's the weirdest conglomerate of people, and it's fun for people watching.
Yeah,
because their music now just sounds like Gatorade. It's the musical equivalent of Gatorade.
It's the musical equivalent of Gatorade. That's funny. Oh, so I found the flyer. It was 2016. Dying Fetus with Jungle Rot.
That's a fucking good show.
And Acacia Strain.
I love Acacia. Why did I not go to this?
Who else was on here that I really liked?
Are you a fan of the Acacia Strain?
I have never heard them. There was another band that
I recommend them. You would like them. They're more of the quote unquote deathcore, where they have hardcore leanings, but their newer stuff is truly their best stuff, I'd say.
There was another band that played that night that really kind of struck a chord for me. I think they were a band they were a metal band, but they came out of India. But they weren't really known. I know I have them on my Spotify list, but I forget the name of the band.
What year was this again?
2016. I forget the name.
Could it have been Sanction? Because Sanction, I know, started doing a bunch of metal tours around then.
I'm not sure.
Sanction sound a lot like Suicide Silence.
No, they sounded. Oh man, now it's gonna bug the shit out of me until I find out who this band is. Now I have to go through my artists and see if I still have them on here or not.
Metal from India. I think that's one well, no, I do know that there are metal bands from there. I just haven't checked any out.
Yeah, they were pretty fucking good. They were like an opener band on that tour. I don't know how much of that tour they were on, but I'm gonna have to look it up because it's gonna bug the fucking shit out of me, to be honest with you.
The craziest country I've checked out metal bands from is probably Tel Aviv. Well, I guess Israel. Is Israel a state, a country? I don't know.
Israel is it's a Jewish state. I know that for a fact.
I should know this as someone who grew up Jewish, but whatever. This is me saying that free Palestine. That's what I'm saying. As a Jew, free Palestine. I'm someone who doesn't like to have controversial opinions, so I believe that's not a controversial opinion. I believe that Israel was made in bad circumstances, and usually I would say this is a parody podcast. That's actually a true fact.
Yeah, yeah. I'm lost for words. I'm over here looking for that band, and I'm sorry.
I'm just talking. I'm giving like an actual, like, serious opinion on Israel. Whoever gets this far into the episode is just gonna be like,
huh.
The fuck?
It's like, where are they going with this?
The dude who, like, I'm pretty sure last week was talking about the green M&M and M&M's changing shapes is now talking about the fact that he thinks that Israel is bad. This dude is just full of bad things.
Speaking of bad things, well, it looks like Billy Idol dropped out of that tour with Journey due to he had some kind of sinus infection back in December, and I guess now he's forced to undergo a procedure to fix that whole issue. So he's out of that tour, and Toto's taking over that whole tour.
That's not a bad replacement.
The first date, February 22nd in Pittsburgh. So Billy Idol posted on his social media saying, "I haven't felt like myself since mid-December with a sinus infection that won't respond to medication. It has worsened to the point where I have no choice but to have a procedure, which I expect to put me in the path to recovery soon." He continued, "Last thing I ever want to do is cancel shows, and I'm absolutely gutted that I won't be able to perform the upcoming dates with Journey as planned. I wish Journey the best on their tour and give thanks to Toto for stepping in for me. So get well soon, Billy Idol."
Jeez. I hate now that you never can tell if it's COVID related or if it's an actual procedure. It sounds like it could be
for that one. From what I've heard, it wasn't COVID. It wasn't COVID related, but who knows? He's getting up there in age, and things happen. But all the best to Billy and the speedy recovery.
Seriously, true legend.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time I seen Billy Idol. It was on Wedding Singer.
It's a fine day for a white wedding.
In the rebel, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, with this whole pandemic and things, I found it funny that we're all eyes without a face with all these face masks.
Goddamn, you're on a roll, aren't you?
Dude, on a roll.
We're on a California roll over here.
On a California roll. Ooh, sushi.
I do like sushi.
Sushi sounds good. So there's a lot of good bands that are coming around, man. A lot of good tours. A lot of tours have been announced.
We're about to get into festival season too.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of festivals too. So let's see how these festivals go, to be honest with you. For all you Ghost and Volbeat fans, Ghost is coming to the Honda Center March 3rd with Twin Temple. The Darkness is coming on their Motorheart tour for the U.S. to the Observatory in Santa Ana March 13th. That's a Sunday. The Who, they're back. Well, it's pretty much just Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey left of The Who. So, who you say? See what I did there? Friday, October 28th at the Honda Center, and Tuesday, November 1st at the Hollywood Bowl. And for all you fans of shock rock, the king of shock himself, Alice Cooper, with special guest Ace Frehley, Sunday, April 24th at the Greek Theater. I saw that same exact show, probably 2018 at the Greek. That was a killer show.
They put on a great show.
Hell
it's
yeah,
still, cinematic as ever.
I did the VIP that night, and I'd say I was like about 8 rows from the stage.
Shit, at the Greek too.
At the Greek, did the VIP, so that VIP, I got to stand over next to the big old robot and put my head in the guillotine.
Oh, God.
I'll have to show you that photo.
I need to see that. That's a venue where VIP actually matters, because every general admission ticket is terrible there.
Yeah, because your general admission, you're sitting way in the boonies, to be honest.
Yep.
So
the last show I went to there was the 1975.
The 1975. How were they? I've heard of them. I kind of dipped into them, but not really.
This was because of my ex. She was really into them. Am I into them? I don't know. It's one of those things where it depends on the song, because they have a wide eclectic range of sound being one band.
Yeah.
Where sometimes it's shoegaze, sometimes it's like emo, like good emo, sometimes it's pop, sometimes it's hip hop oriented.
It just depends on what they're feeling, pretty much.
It's because they have this whole crazy like manifesto to them where their albums are called Music for Cars, and each album is supposed to be just like kind of a playlist. And I'm like, that's insane but brilliant.
That's an interesting combination, wouldn't you say?
That's why I'm like, it actually depends on the song if I like them or not.
Yeah, I get you.
Because they want that to happen.
Mm-hmm. There's some band, I forget what they were called. One of my buddies would listen to them. I don't know. It was kind of like a variation of a band that had like, they sounded like cross between like Bob Dylan with like, who can I cross it with? I want to say like the Monkees-ish. I don't know. But
that juxtaposition is blowing my mind right now.
I don't know. They were some kind of band that sounded a lot like Dylan, but very kind of like drony and whatever. But I don't know. It was a band that actually got on my nerves. I couldn't really listen to them. Every time I listened to them, they'd get on my nerves. I can't think of the name. So if I do ever get the name right, I will.
I'm trying to just imagine what this sounds like.
It sounds like something like this, but I don't know. Very nasally, I put it that way, but I don't know.
A newer band or older?
They're somewhat relevant. They probably came out like a couple of years ago, probably pre-pandemic, mind you, probably like 2017.
Shit, sounds like something I need to know.
I don't know the name of this band. I've been told of this band from one of my buddies, and I don't remember it, but it's kind of like surfy, but has that like Bob Dylan-y like voice to it.
Because I know Waves is like a surfy band.
It wasn't Waves. It was some other band, but anyway.
There's a whole surf rock. There's that whole like Growlers and stuff like that.
The Growlers. That's it.
Was it the Growlers?
It was the Growlers.
I was just about to say they have this whole following and they're like things of surf rock.
I can't stand them.
I fucking hate them. They
annoy the hell out of me. I'm sorry, all you Growler fans, but
they have a huge. Well, I guess not anymore because the people that ran their label got canceled. Well, then again, spoiler. So did I. Ha ha ha. There you go, fans. Yeah, we'll talk. It's 2022. Everyone gets canceled.
You have just been canceled.
That's a topic for another episode.
Would you call that cancellation anxiety?
Now you're putting me on thought.
Just kidding. Oh man.
What did your co-host get canceled for? For bullshit. That's what it is. Because people are fucking babies and they need their handheld and yeah.
So how about that Whamburger and some French fries, huh?
You know, as long as it's a cruelty free.
Whamburger and some French fries. It's a crappy meal.
Ronald Mick something. I don't know. I was gonna try to make a pun out of it. You can't with Ronald McDonald. It's just.
Yeah, I got nothing.
when your mascot is a clown, there's nowhere you really go.
It's a big Mac of crap.
Have you ever thought of like the different fast food mascots and which one is actually cool in your opinion?
For me, the Burger King guy, I feel like the Burger King mascot would, along with Jack from Jack in the Box, would make a killer band. Mind you, there is a band called Max Sabbath, and they do all Black Sabbath songs, but referencing McDonald's.
I'll change the question. Which fast food mascot would you actually hang out with based off of commercials alone?
Jack. That's easy.
You think Jack is cooler?
I think Jack is cool.
I think so too.
What about you?
The Taco Bell Chihuahua from back in the day.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Because they somehow made Tex-Mex racist, and that is incredible that it was a marketing campaign.
But it worked.
What's that to say about society?
But, you know, I guess to whomever feels that they feel that it was offensive to them, then, you know, so I guess.
That's my point is just like how I'm just trying to picture that marketing meeting. So I saw this dog. It's a Chihuahua. He's saying I like Taco Bell, but not in English, Spanish. How does that sound? What is I like Taco Bell in Spanish? Yo quiero Taco Bell. Genius.
Whoa.
Well, just like the Jim Gaffigan joke about Hot Pocket slogan.
It seems like more of the whole. I remember. I'm gonna go off topic here. What was it? That one joke that he had. I dated a girl. She was a panda. Something. I got nothing. That was all I got. Of course. Well, Jim Gaffigan's time in what was it? That '70s show too. He was pretty funny.
The Hot Pockets joke is just like, how did they come up with the slogan? Hey, you have a slogan for Hot Pockets yet? Hot Pockets.
Now that we're talking about slogans, have you seen the Ryan Reynolds Aviation American Gym? The the really bad slogans, the rejected slogans?
No, but Ryan Reynolds owns Mint Mobile, apparently.
He owns Mint Mobile. He's got Aviation American Gym. That's his own gym. And he's got a video on YouTube that says, that's called Aviation American Gym Rejected Slogans.
I'm going to have to watch it. For the record, for my work, I come up with slogans all day, and I think it's making me go slowly insane.
Slowly insane. That's the slogan.
That's the slogan we're looking for. Sustainable, ethical, slowly drives you insane.
Insane in the brain. Insane in the membrane.
Insane, God, brain. I wish brain sometimes.
What was that?
You threw it to an innuendo. That's what you did. Up your endo.
Up my endo. This endo.
I think that when we do this on Wednesdays, it's just more bullshitting because we're just like, we still have work the rest of until Friday. What can we say to make us get through that time? Or Sunday, we're just like, we got to start the fucking week.
Well, yeah, you make a good point, but this is more of a, we didn't really get to do an episode this past Sunday like we usually do. A lot of things that came up on my end that I needed to take care of. So it's
being an adult and you're allowed to do that.
Yes.
And if people get mad, I'm sorry we ruined your commute on Monday or Tuesday. For the record, Nelson is the one who edits because I am not literal in editing.
Editing takes about, I want to say an hour, depending on what I got to do. I've got all the settings set. So if you want to learn how to edit, don't ask me, go to YouTube.
You know what? Keep in where I dock where I live, because it'll be funny if people listen to that, then later on they find out I'm canceled, so that they are just like, where does fuckhead live?
Delete it. They won't find it.
I'm wondering when I'm just gonna check the mail one day and get glitter bomb.
Glitter bomb. Oh, man. Oh.
Well, after you.
Oh, so I have one thing. Yes, we were on the subject of shows. I'm going to jump back. Yes, I like to jump back and forth on shit. So, whatever. The LA County Fair is back, but it's not in September anymore. This is in May. They're in May now. And they just announced their 2022 concert series. More acts to be announced, but May 5th, you got War and El Chicano. May 6th, you got Brett Young and Kip Moore. May 7th, you got Casey and the Sunshine Band with the Village People.
What?
May 13th, Leonard Skinner plays the LA County Fair. May 14th, Cole Schwindel and Gabby Barrett. May 21st, Lady A. May 27th, the Spinners, Stylistics, and the Manhattan. More acts to be announced. Go to lacountyfair.com or go through their social media.
Skinner, fuck yeah.
Freebird!
That lineup is just like, you can see War, the Village People, Leonard Skinner. It's just like, are they just trying to please everyone?
I feel like they're trying to, because the past couple of fair shows, lineups, I don't know.
Killing it lately.
Say that again?
Ventura's been killing it lately.
Dude, every fair out of the LA County Fair has been killing it. Ventura, OC Fair, Del Mar Fair. So, reason being why I go to OC Fair instead.
It's those rich-ass fucking white people Republicans. They'll dole out the money to prove that they're better than everyone.
They got a lot of bands out there. A lot of good bands. I'll go there to see Blue Oyster Cult.
Who wouldn't?
Seen Blue Oyster Cult maybe 2 times.
Do you consider them one of the first doom metal bands? Because I do.
I feel like they started the whole thing, but
that's my opinion on it.
Great band. Still sounds great to this day.
Yep.
So
still more cowbell.
Oh yeah, more cowbell. But oh man, and I had the pleasure of meeting the band, and great bunch of guys, nice guys.
That's what I love to hear about when meeting bands, because whenever you meet your heroes, you don't want them to be assholes. No. Unfortunately, it's been the case.
Who have you met, if you don't mind me asking, that was a big old asshole to you?
Freddie Prince Jr.
Freddie Prince Jr. How did you come across meeting him? Mind you, I guess he's big into wrestling too. We'll get into that later.
Sherman Oaks, California, at a Whole Foods. I was 9, and I blamed him for my fart.
Oh man, that's a story right there.
So, we were by cheese. I farted, and I said, "Did you cut this cheese?"
You didn't find that funny.
I don't know. The funny thing was, I knew who he was, and I did that purposefully because I was just like, who are they going to believe? A kid or a movie star?
Yeah, so that's interesting.
We're from LA, the LA County area. I'm sure you have stored that.
Me running into people like I've ran into people here and there, but never. I don't think. Oh, here's one. But my encounters with musicians or actors have never been bad. I've had like one bad experience, but I don't remember who it was because I cut it out. But if I'm talking about randomly meeting a celebrity, it was I was outside. Okay, I had just gotten off the red line going to Hollywood. I got off on, I think it was like Vine the station or something, and I got off. I'm going to go see Dweezil Zappa at the Fonda Theater that night. So as I'm walking back from the Fonda, and I'm going to this burger joint that's around there, I forget the name of it. Of course, there's the record parlor that's not too far from there as well. I passed by Rob Van Dam is just walking out of the green line or red line, whatever. And I asked him, "Hey Rob, can I get a photo with you?" He was cool with it.
That's definitely an LA moment.
Yep, that is an LA moment. And I was like, oh man, what are the odds of running into Rob Van Dam on the street?
For me, it's just been a bunch of weird random people. But whenever I do, I just take a picture with them, but I make sure it's the shittiest picture because I'm like, why would you want a good picture with someone? You make sure it looks goofy, like you just caught them in the middle of something.
I think I've done that maybe like once or twice. I don't recall. But everyone, it's always a selfie. Smile!
The best one that I have is myself with Tyler, the Creator. We both look like shit in it.
Oh, God. That's pretty cool.
Anderson of Workaholics as well.
That's pretty...
It was right next to Tyler, the Creator, so it made it a very good 2-for-1.
Oh, I bet, man. Oh, man.
What
were you going to say?
Oh, back to wrestling, because this is actually news I want to hear. I should probably put it more.
Now, into wrestling, okay, Royal Rumble was last Sunday. Shane McMahon, who is the son of Vince McMahon, who is the owner of WWE, Shane McMahon has been fired from WWE. He has been fired from WWE from what I've heard, he wrote how the Royal Rumble was more around him and the way he came back and wanted to do things his way. Apparently, it looks like WWE wasn't very happy with how he was doing things. They let him go, and the rumor is that Shane McMahon is going to go off and start his own version of WCW Monday Nitro, which, if any wrestling fans remember, Shane McMahon did show up on Monday Nitro and saying he now owns WCW. So that's just a rumor, but we'll see. And also, WWE has contacted Tony Khan from AEW to not, for any circumstances, hire Shane McMahon. I can understand why.
I'm trying to look up Vince McMahon and just any of the McMahon family. Reminds me of is he in AEW or one of the other divisions whose personality is just being an asshole to like the fans and everyone? JP something, I believe.
JP.
He's my friend is a big wrestling fanatic. It's where his whole like personality is just like to be a dick and to be like really pompous and narcissist.
Are you thinking of MJF?
Yes.
Matthew Jacob Friedman on AEW.
Yeah, I always mix up his initials, but that is exactly who. Whenever it brought up me, I'm like, yes, that is who it is, and I know it.
MJF. Last week on Dynamite, he actually, unfortunately, he actually beat, he kind of cheated on this match, but he cheated, he won, and he beat CM Punk.
Greatest character arc, though, just being a dick. Fucking amazing.
He's being a dick, and he's good at it.
The funny thing, what I love is people saying that whenever he's like not in character, he's the nicest person.
It's
and
true.
And then whenever you like see him perform, he's just fucking the biggest dickhead.
Exactly. Because if you want to see like MJF or Matthew Jacob Friedman out of character, type it in on YouTube. There's a documentary of making of MJF. There's a couple other ones that he's just really kind of like down to earth, but then he'll throw in his characters at a little bit of times. So, but yeah, he's really good at it. So.
McMahon, not so much. McMahon is just an asshole of a person in general.
That's his character. In reality, from what I've heard, he's a really nice guy. He's just
Vince and the McMahon family. They're actually nice.
Yeah, they are. They are.
It's blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, blowing my mind too. But all right, we're about ready to wrap this up. You got any last things to say?
Keep on rocking in the free world.
Everybody keep on rocking in the free world, everybody. And for Brutal Brett, and myself, thank you for listening. Subscribe, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care. Good night. Catch you later.